Boker Tov, good morning. We continue with our 3-minute daily dose of Torah, focusing around the 9 days, which begin today, or last evening, and lead up to Tisha B'Av. And as you notice, we have increased some of the practices um, that we engage in or that we set in place regarding mourning, basically our mourning practices. And they intensify until the height of that, which is on Tisha B'Av itself. And that, interestingly, serves as a sort of foil, or it's a reverse of what happens when people have suffered a personal loss. As we understand, that mourning practices are most intense with the passing of a person and the burial of a person, and they over time begin to diminish, or we start to lessen that which is expected of people in our mourning practices. Whereas Tisha B'Av we build up. Actually, when you look at the core halachot, that's primarily from the Rosh Chodesh, and then from the week of Tisha B'Av is called Shavua Shachal Bo, and Tisha B'Av itself. Rabbi Soloveitchik, though, contended the following, that we should actually, even though we said these are very different, and one is for what we refer to as Avelut Yishana, an old mourning, or mourning for something that happened far in the past, versus that which is a fresh mourning for a tragic, any loss that we suffer in our personal lives. And in effect, we invert the process because the function of the mourning practices for Tisha B'Av are there to help us arrive at some type of emotional place. Whereas the function of the mourning practices when we've lost someone is to give us a way to channel the grief which was naturally there, and so we give it structure and shape. So in that sense, we start with what is in the raw emotion, and we set procedures and practices for the week of Shiva, and then the full month that follows, and then the 12 months of mourning completing that. Those are the three basic periods, and that's to help us relate to those emotions. Whereas when it comes to Tisha B'Av, we're supposed to try to create some way in which we're engaging with a connection to the loss that it's so hard to otherwise connect to, but we set these things in motion so we should appreciate them. And Rabbi Soloveitchik actually contends. So the first period is similar to the 12 months and more lenient, and then the second period is similar to the month, and then the final period, as we arrive at Tisha B'Av, is similar to the week of Shiva. And so we've inverted it, and it's set up the structures that way. So that's helpful to understand how we look at this period. And tomorrow we'll look at some other halachot that apply to the 9 days themselves. Have a meaningful and I'd say a great day, but yes, you can still have a great day with consciousness of the period in which we find ourselves.